Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand, it's inspired by dreams.shop. And we got a lot of new drops that's in. And a lot of the stuff, you can dress outside of the box and get that original sense about yourself. Okay, it's Monday. Love you guys. I'm in good energy. I see a lot of things going on. We got to get to it. We got to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. But before we start anything, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are feeling good. I hope your family's good. And I hope that you're taking your energy in a better place than most of these people out here with this negative energy. And because I see a lot of things, and before anything, I just wanted to bring this to you guys. On YouTube right now, the scariest people are not the people that don't know anything. It's the people that think that they know everything. So you got to be very careful about these types of people, these types of content creators, just thinking they can steer people in the direction they feel like that's most best for them. But look, that is not my goal. That is not where I'm headed. That is not the direction I'm trying to take you guys in. Today, we're going to talk about and break down some real things that's going on in our communities, as well as hip hop, and things that it's just totally crazy out here. So let's just break it down. Let's just get through this whole thing, and I'm just hoping you guys come in with some good energy. Hold on. I don't even know if I could. I forgot to put my phone on. Let me see something. Hold on one second. I don't want to mess it up. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, let's just jump right in, man. Let's just jump right in. So I'm hearing, I don't know if you guys heard this, but I'm hearing that Diddy, he had like a Christmas meltdown. Now look, when I tell you guys, when it comes to like, drugs usage and when you're mental, these are the two things you don't play with. I feel like this is what I call the points where he's starting to become his sober self and seeing that reflection of himself and how he has all the energy he has put out is starting to come back to him. So he had a meltdown during Christmas, and maybe that meltdown has everything to do with like a realization of what's going on. We don't know, but to me, when I heard that and I read on that, I just said, man, we got to do better for each other. It's a lot of things going on in these YouTube streets, and it's just straight disgusting, and a lot of uneducated people trying to educate people on things that they don't even know about. The first thing that I've seen on social media, this stares back to the whole Lord Jamorth versus Fat Joe thing, and it's actually crazy. Now, I see this thing in two different ways. There's two different ways this thing can play. Now, I feel like when it comes down to the whole dynamic between Spanish people or Puerto Ricans and Black Americans or Black people in general, I feel like no matter what, we're going to have to come to some meeting, but we're not the same. We're not alike. We have our differences, okay? And that is obvious, okay? Now, but when it comes down to the argument, it was also the reason why I said Fat Joe maybe, owed a little apology is not because of that part. I was more talking about the part when Fat Joe was speaking on, these broke people, FBA. You don't have to talk down on somebody to get your point across. That's what I was mainly talking about on that point. And I don't think, in our community, us as just Black people, us as people in general, just being pointed out and people telling somebody who they are, that is not the way to go about anything, especially if you're trying to deliver a message. You're trying to bring something, something that's going to be more substantial to a conversation than just telling people financially what they're not. That's number one. So I do feel like you owe people an apology for that statement. And if you really felt that way down inside, you should never ever open your lips to say that about the people that go through the same struggles that you claim that you have came through. So it takes a level of maturity to know that certain things that you should say and you should not say. Now, when it comes to different platforms, not everybody knows their history as good as everybody. So you have to understand, not everybody could understand why some people could take that in offense. Me, myself, I love my Black people, and I know there's things that we say and we can't say. But when it comes down to you fighting over using the N-word, you have to understand, excuse me, sir, this our ancestors is people that just because you see a lot of people using the Black, the N-word, it doesn't necessarily mean when it's used in a way of saying what's up and that's your homie, that's different than that in New York would go in a different route. We don't look at that anyway. But when you're using it to talk down on somebody, I don't think that goes anywhere. I don't think anywhere in the world that goes, but it's when it comes down to black people. So I felt like you kind of stepped out a little bit too far. Now the thing about what I see a lot of a lot of dudes have a problem with is just everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be the person that knows everything, and that's just not. When you see those type of people, trust me, run as far as you can. If you can't add into someone's conversation and somebody take it and maybe try to work with it and put it together and find some understanding in it, that means that they just have their own narrative of things and they're not going to change regardless of what you tell them. So be careful of the people that you're trying to get this information. I always tell you guys, just because you see a person with a whole bunch of money doesn't mean they have a whole bunch of knowledge. A lot of these people in the past have got hookups to get these positions. A lot of people in the past have got like I'm hearing now, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but just think about it, right? A few weeks and months before, now we know how talented there are a lot of artists that's very, very talented. They write their own music. I'm hearing now, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't got no reason to come up here and lie to you. I did hear in the past that Fat Joe had writers. I did, because I actually know one of them. One of them is my friend's brother. And that's, I didn't have to, but that's just, I'm just keeping it official with you. I'm gonna show you the lens that I've seen in the past years that I'm gonna tell you through this lens that how I look at it and the reason why I look at it the way it is. Because in hip hop, the same person that you're trying to whisper the secret to, talking about that next person, the person that's listening to that secret has done the same thing that you're telling them about that next person. See, you don't realize that in this game, it's one thing to say, you're here for the culture, but there's another when your eyes is on the money, you've been through bad contracts, you haven't been rubbed the right way. What do you think your outlook on life will be? Forget about just hip hop, your life on life. You start looking down on other people, and I don't go for those types of people where they saying, oh, they ain't got nothing, or they so-and-so ain't nothing, and you claim to come from these same places. That's why I always tell you, the person that's gonna send turkeys in your neighborhood could be the same person behind their back that's gonna stab you behind your back. And that's not to point fingers at anybody, but people have to take an eye to see how people treat them. These are the same people that think that calling a white person Caucasian is a better way of saying it when Caucasian is not even white. It's that they don't have the knowledge. Their knowledge doesn't extend past the nonsense. It's still added in. It's still like, oh no, but it's still my opinion. My opinion is gotta be the one. No. A person if you're learning something, you sit down and listen to somebody that knows more than you. And then you take that in and then you restructure your thinking. A lot of these people don't want to restructure their thinking because they're stuck in this money game. No matter how they screw it or turn the top, it all boils down back to money. Money. And there's things that money can't buy that they're scared of, like your health. And things that happen outside of it. That's the spiritual part about it. No matter how much in the physical you feel like you going to get it, that spiritual catch up to you, and you don't even know things about karma. You start, oh my God, you think you've seen ghosts. You know how many times I told people that this hurt that puts out to people runs down their family bloodline? And people look at these people, how the hell, as a female, you're gonna get online and listen to somebody that got 90% plastic surgery and they're gonna tell you to love yourself? They don't even love themselves. They got 90% of their body plastic surgery and they're telling people to love themselves. They don't know what love is. I said all the mumbo jumbo these people are kicking is because they're coming from hurt places and they don't know how to dish it out on people. They want people to go through the same hurt that they've been through. So why would you listen to them? They're going to trick you. They're going to trick you every time. How somebody got plastic surgery from head to toe telling you how to love yourself? You don't listen to these people. They're the same people, after you buy their music, they turn their back, they talk about you. They talk about you and your family. Mind the people who you invest your time, money, and energy in. Some of these people lying to you. I told you from the beginning, this ain't about no money. This is a bigger fight than that. No matter how much they get, the value gonna keep rising. They're gonna stay in the same place. They are running in place. Even Jay-Z knows that. It's sad out here. Not only sad, it's scary because people are taking an outlook of this. They think they got it. I see it all the time. People with this fake philosophy kicking, red pill, blue pill, green pill, 3 pill, 4 pill. They couldn't even have enough knowledge to keep a disciplined mindset to teach the youth a better route. They trying to take them through the same routes they have. But instead they trying to tell them to block and hold up their hands. That ain't the way to go about it. That ain't the way to go about it. The youth is lost right now. They can't believe the nonsense they looking up and the things they're hearing. I mean, I seen some grown adults, but they don't even have enough knowledge to teach the youth. I'm thinking like, oh my God, we're lost. We're lost. We can't stop fighting each other. We'll pick anything so quick to fight each other. I mean, we'll pick up, it's so quick, and we'll go the hardest to fight each other. But let you say somebody from somebody else's culture is something and we be the first to defend. No, 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 it might not be that. Huh? That's why you can't get nowhere. Because we can't trust you. It ain't about what song you made or what hit you can make. Anybody can make music. Music is not, it's about the messaging. These people don't even know their own history. How are they going to tell you about yours? You don't ever let somebody else tell you what you are. None of them. Not one of them. They have no discipline in themselves to actually see what's going on, to say, you know what? Hold on, let's cut this out and let's try to find some solutions with this. They don't have that. All they want to do is throw fists that they don't even have. These guys are in their 50s, man. They still can't even get the argument solved. We got to save the youth. We can't look at these. Come on. Don't pay no mind to these people. And it's no disrespect, but whatever, however they take it, it don't really even matter. At the end of the day, we have to make sure that the people that we invest our time and energy in are the right people. Look at Britney Spears. They said this Christmas, this is the first time she's seen her kids in 2 years, man. What I tell you about their families in them big mansions they claiming so nice? They ain't got no family pictures on the wall. There ain't no pictures up there. There's fake smiles and made up beds and a whole bunch of stuff that we don't live by, man. All this stuff that they doing is all fake. It's like you could put a camera in there and start a reality show. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. They lying to you. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this is what they're going to try to package up and say is happiness? Oh, they're going to try to fool our people because they messed up. They hurt inside. I told you their souls are burning. I wasn't lying to you. The smartest people are going to see things for what it really is. And the people that's low, that has that low energy, they're going to try to make things up as they go. They ain't got no choice. They ain't got no choice. I'm telling you. They said Britney ain't seen her kids for holidays in like 2 years. Britney Spears couldn't take a break from her big, lavish career to really take a focus into her family. What makes you think, now I see when she was there dancing in front of the mirror, the reason why she couldn't even see herself. There was no mirror there to her. Yeah, we seen the mirror. But all she seen was like this, probably just a hallway of darkness. You didn't see your kids in 2 years. What kind of, you don't have no what kind of foundation is this? Then we see Kim Kardashian, she taking pictures, family pictures. The family ain't even in the pictures. And you mean to tell me you're going to take advice from these people because they let money run their life and now they're going to put this back on you and you're going to believe it? These people don't care about you. It's not about people using the N-word. It's not about your skin color. It's about how you treat people, the level of respect you have for a person, even if you don't mess with them. The maturity level in these people, I can't see hip hop with no structure, no way, no how. They swear somebody's hurting them, meanwhile they hurting each other. Look at it. Take a look at it. Take a look at it. Sad, man. I just couldn't, I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Sad, some of you guys, man. It's disheartening. Healing energy, this is how, life is, you never know what tomorrow is bringing. So just rest in peace and healing energy to the founder of HBO. I believe his name, excuse me if I pronounce this, excuse me if I don't know, I believe it's the founder, his name is, let's just keep Charles Dolan, Charles Dolan, I believe. And he was the founder of HBO. HBO was around for a long, long, long time. I see a lot of things going on in media right now that's just, it makes me think like, there's gonna be a new media. There's gonna be a different way how media is gonna be restructured. And a lot of media is gonna be taken over by AI too. Because when you think about it, like the programming and just the music playing and all those stuff is gonna, that can be computer generated. If there's no love in the culture, then everything could be replaced by technology. That's just the sad part about it. It's just the sad part about it. But he did, it's a legacy lived, but we have to really understand the things that we do and why we do it. Some people just money, 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 and then at the end they don't have a fulfilling life. Everything they do has some part of like violence or some kind of somebody is attached to it because their spirit ain't right. A lot of people are lost, and you got to be very careful. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you, don't worry about other cultures. Other cultures, you have a less percentage of being hurt by another culture than your own. You hear me? Don't worry about what other cultures is doing. If anything, you take the great things that other cultures have that keeps people together, and you implement that in your everyday life and the people in your circle and the people you amongst. But other cultures are not the ones to worry about. It's your own culture is the one to worry about. It's your own culture that's going to step in front of you, push you out the way, pull you back, hold you down. That's what you have to look out for. Don't you see how exciting the fight is when it's us against us? You see how exciting that fight is, huh? Can't wait to see blood, huh? It's sad. I see what's going on. And not one, I've seen it from, not one day it has changed my emotion from being high level and feeling good about myself. Not one day. Not one day. As I watch people argue, who's black, who's this, who's that? And they don't even know themselves. The sad thing about it is there's going to be stories that we're going to be hearing in the future and probably stories that's been told before about the people that claim that to be leaders in those times, what they did to people and behind the scenes. Because you could always tell a person, but like they can be this one thing, but look at their family. Let their family and things define them. Let the things around them. When you start looking at, you start piecing out like, oh, I see where this whole thing is. You're like, when you talk, the people behind you are looking at you crazy. They don't even believe in you. Fools only impress fools, in other words. You know what I mean? If you're looking to learn something, you cannot have the type of mindset that says, you know what, I'm always right. Look at these guys. And I hate to see, like, don't let somebody walk all over you. And I know that people want the views and things on YouTube, but if you feel deep inside about something, you want to correct somebody, it shouldn't be a problem. Don't be scared to correct somebody if you feel that, because everybody's messaging is not right. It's not right. So if you feel like, that was a little off, say something about it. Like, I think he was a little wrong. And if you see what type, don't invest your time and energy into that person no more, because these people, trust me, a lot of them, the moolah, that's all it is. It's the same thing that got hip hop in the state that it is right now. Not a lot of people, you would think that, oh, a lot of people see hip hop on the rise, this and new people coming in. Not a lot of people are quick to invest in it. It's a very shaky investment, and it comes down to the point where you don't know if what could be said, or if it's not taken at a level of, let's just say a level of like a level of it's be respected. You don't have respect. Like say you're doing a sponsorship with one of these guys, and they get off into these conversations and start downing somebody's culture and start downing people. How do you think that brand is going to look upon that person? They're going to look like, no, we're not trying to work with them, because they don't even have their culture. They don't have their audience in order. Their audience, they think they're saying something intelligent to their audience, and the audience is, you can see the chats going all crazy, like, oh, you crazy, you liar. Then last week you did this, didn't you do that? Yeah, because it's not aligning. They're not on the right balance. They're still on the deceiving side of fooling. You can't look smart. You can't look smart, man. I'm sorry. There's no such thing as looking smart. Being smart has no look to it. See, in hip hop is a thing where let's just look the part. And then you can't do that. How about you be the part? And people will more understand and believe in you. You can't be the same grown man acting like you when you was like acting the same way you was 18 and expect people that grew up to go back down to that. People have matured and learned things, and you're still there with the same mentality, and you think that people's gonna sit there and be cool with it because what, you got a few more dollars? You house punk. I promise you, man. Don't you ever talk down on your own peoples. And when I say that, I mean your own. Don't let me see. Even if you're in another culture, don't ever talk down on your own people. If there's mistakes in your culture that's being a problem that's within the culture, you try to correct it the best you can and move on your culture the right way. You don't talk down on people. I hate to hear that. Especially when hip hop don't take a lot of intelligence to come in. You're gonna go talk to people. It's disrespectful. And meanwhile, you don't know about what happens when, people outside of this. What about your health? What about the people that work on you in the hospital when you're down? You think those people don't have families? You think those people don't hear the things you say? Be careful and mindful of what you do and say now, because even though it's a big world, social media is a small world. It makes it very small and very easy to get in contact. And these conversations, the reason why they go this far is because people don't have no solutions. They just believe in what they believe. A lot of these dudes, they figure, since I said it's right, I'm not gonna go about. I'm standing on it. What you standing on? You never stand on anything in your life. What are you standing on? So quick to hurt their own. They'll get up in the morning nice and early to do something to their own people. You stay away from them, y'all. Stay away from them. I won't trust them. I won't trust not one of them. Not one of them. You got some good people in the game, but a lot of these people, they corrupt because they're taking on the same ideologies that people did to them when they first came in. They're trying to use it on their fans. Watch what I tell you. They feel like, oh, we got robbed, so we're going to rob our audience. Don't let them do it. She came, she saw, she conquered. Shouts out to Beyoncé, man. I heard that she, the first ever, the country music, she took the win, man. Of course, that hard work has to be commended. Come on. She fights for hers. You want to look up to the people that's actually doing things and actually breaking records and actually look at the people that's doing it the right way. I don't care if people are hating on, of course people are going to hate. Because if one day they're telling you you don't got something, and then the next day they're telling you you ain't this, you ain't that. I don't pay no mind to that. Because I know who I am, and I know a lot of you know who you are, and it makes them look so crazy, and they're trying to fight this point that they don't even have no knowledge of. Come on. I'm pretty sure a lot of rappers use more big words in their music than they can actually understand in their everyday life, and it's a sad thing. You need to go back. It's up till this day, I can go back to Nas albums, And some of the messaging and wording still fits for today. That man is intelligent. That man knew what it's the music you make that's timeless, that fits with the community, and it always sticks with you. A lot of these people music, it's some bouncy this and that, or it's some I gotta make a hit single. I gotta make what you don't got. What do you got? We got to start separating the real artists from the fake, man. That's number one, because if you keep taking messaging from them people, they all about the money. No matter how they carve it, it's going to end up, yo, you ain't got no money. You ain't got no money. This is so dumb. It's beyond me. I just can't. And rest in peace to OG Macko. So he succumbed to the injuries, and, you know, I had a few, when it comes down to unaliving yourself, I had a few friends that did that to themselves, and I experienced that in a crazy way of just trying to rewind back, just thinking like, what were they thinking the whole time, you know? And so rest in peace to his family. Rest in peace to OG, condolences to his family, and just to get to that point where you want to end your own or take your own life, sometimes you think like, what would they go, and maybe they could have seen things. It's all about perspective. I think social media makes people feel like, oh, I have to get this at a certain time. It's like everything's a deadline. I'm never with that stuff. Half of this stuff is junk. It's stuff that doesn't last long. They're selling people for a certain amount of time so they can come back to subscribe to whatever nonsense they got to sell you the next time. You got to take value in yourself and let these people know that, I don't know, until you come with something that's more sustainable or better, then I'm not going to buy into that. Why would you do that? Why? It's just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But rest in peace, man. To be honest with you, the way social media is just built, I feel like there's going to be a lot in 2025. The unaliving stuff is going to raise at an all-time high because people are finding themselves. They're trying to find themselves on social media. That is the quickest way for destruction. The quickest way. I told you, you got people up here. They have 90% of their body is plastic surgery, and they up here telling you gotta love yourself, girl. Do that. What are you doing? What don't talk to her. You don't have nothing to conversate about. You talking about, you're living look, we have to be real with ourselves before we try to get real with somebody else, man. That's why I say a lot of times I always blame myself, first before I blame anybody. Like, why was I watching that nonsense? I should have tuned into, this is wasting my time. Because a lot of people, it's this false sense of, oh, this is what I know, this is what it is. That's not how life works. I don't know where these people get this stuff. But they come from these places where they feel like, oh, I gotta get it. And then they fall trapped once again. Because you're not really seeing what's going on here. You're not following the play. You're not at all. You don't even know how to read the play. Come on, I'm very upset of what I've been seeing, and people want to stretch this whole fat joke. This is not news. The youth they don't want, like, this right here is more like people that don't know themselves and people that don't understand history and don't understand where things, so they argue over what began here. Look, if you don't understand what it is, then I'm not going to sit here and argue and try to listen to no. For what? For what? You can't even, some of these people can't even complete an album, let alone a history book. Why would I do that? That's pushing all your audience back. They don't want to hear that. They want to know what's going on and what you think, how the outlook of life and what's next and things like that. Don't try to teach people. If people want to learn their history, there's places you can go. There's places you can go. There's so many different places. If you don't, like, nowadays, they're trying to make life so easy that even if you can't read, they got an audio book. They say you like music all day, so they got an audio book. You can't pick that up. But you want to sit there and argue until this turns to blood. What are we doing? It's not even content. It's just a bunch of conversations that it blurs history for the people that's unknowledgeable of it. Because, I mean, come on now. Don't go to these people for that. You can look it up yourself, and then you take it in and make sure you read it so it can stick with you and you have your own conversation inside. And the questions that you have about maybe your culture, you can ask people of, of an older age because they have more experience. And it's good to ask different people and you get your different opinions on things. And from there, you kind of pick out which ones you feel that more suitable on your lifestyle and how you feel like it's most closest to your truth. And that's how you work it out. But you should never ever somebody from way across Timbuktu telling you, oh, you're not black, you're this is how it. Look, listen. I wouldn't trust in you to buy a t-shirt off of you, let alone you raise a fist or point something at me. I don't trust you. The people I trust, I take my trust in and put it into people, and that is serious. That is one of the most important things you can do. You hear these people talking about, oh, they got a whole bunch of friends. I was just talking to my bro about this a couple days ago. These guys, they got talking about they got a whole bunch of friends, this, that. They ain't got no friends. You talking about you got a whole bunch of friends, this and that. And you see these guys when it comes down to trouble, these guys ain't nowhere to be found. What friends you talking about? Don't you see in hip hop, in hip hop, the artists, they buy their friends. Do you want to be that way? Do you want to be that way? They buy their friends. Do you want to be that way? Do you want to have a whole bunch of people around you just for the fact of what you have in your pocket? Do you want to live your life that way? No. You want to know that whatever you have in your pocket, you can put on the counter now. And you can walk away, and when you come back, it can still be there. That's the difference. They don't know what friends are. Oh, I got a whole bunch of friends. Like that's supposed to be a status, a trophy you wear. I got a bunch of friends. What are you talking about? Some of the people that live the best of lives got about 2 friends. Have more love about you and have family. I want to hear that more in hip hop. This is my family. This is my family. I got a big family. Oh, it's friends. What friends you talking about? You ain't got no friends. You got no best friends, none of that. The people you thought that was that ain't that. They ain't standing by nobody. The first thing they do is run. I've seen this time and time again. And that's why the guys like myself and the women that think like myself, we don't fall for that nonsense. You guys don't got friends. Let's face it. The families that you guys are talking about, the families you see on social media that you wish that you could have had if you wasn't so greedy in the mistakes you made. That's why I always tell you, the guy that come back giving you guys turkeys and throwing turkeys in there, but probably still don't care for you. Giving turkeys. They write that off. They do all this funny stuff behind it you don't even know about. You thinking they got a smile on your face. They just want you to buy their next album. But let's say you have a problem, you have a question on the culture. Ain't nobody in there can answer it. No, they're ready to sell you a bottle of liquor. Sip on this so you can forget. Sip on this. Sip on this. Drink this. This is what I drink. No, they don't drink that. I'm telling you, those guys are their older ages, and if they drink that every day, they'd be in the hospital. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're trying to booze you up so you get to the point where they're at now. The mistakes they made, they can't take back. These people trying to walk people down the same dark path that they went down. Don't fall for that. When they said it was demons in hip hop, it was definitely true. Look at Diddy. These are the guys that you thought that were the big leaders. I've told you from the beginning, these guys, they ain't no leaders. And I read something, it was just, it's like now they have like, I seen a lot of news on like Warren Buffett and his new investments. Think about it. They send a message into their people. Invest in this, invest in that. They might not tell you what to invest in, but look, they're not telling you to. Do you ever see? I don't ever see like white people sitting there arguing each other. Oh, you're not white, you're white. Like when you don't know yourself and you don't know your people, that's the reason why you get this type of talk. You can't be the person that didn't sit around for class and go outside and come back and swear you know something. I hate that. You have to have discipline to join this conversation. You have to know who you are to join this conversation. If you don't know who you are, why are you trying to tell people what to do in this? What are you doing? People could scatter a few dollars to you and you will turn your back on your own people. We've seen this happen from our own people. That's the reason why when we see one of ours in position, they get scrutinized a little bit different and they get checked a little bit different because we've seen our own people turn around and do the same thing to us. And that's the reason why. No matter if you like it or not, that's the way it is. You're not going to be more mad at somebody that you don't know. You're going to be more mad at the person that you do know because the person that you don't know is more expected. But the person that you do know that did that to you is hurtful because you didn't expect that. Your expectations was off. So once you align the difference and you expect that, you already know what they got coming. Nothing. Don't you know there are people on here doing less and making tons more? But if that's their only goal is the money, then there's always going to be somebody come around to replace them. Come on. There's a reason why people act the way they do. You just got to watch what they're doing and how they treat people. How they treat people is going to tell you everything about them. And they mad now because the only fingers they can point is us. Oh, the content creators. Oh, they talking this and that. That's not true. It's just that there wasn't a social media back then, fellas. There wasn't a social media back then. If there was a social media back then, maybe when you thought that they bought the album and they loved every track, you would have got a little different, a little different answer to that. And that in turn would have made you probably create a little bit better just to get that audience better approval. So the times change. So now they see everybody, it's a little more critiquish on the things that certain people do inside and outside of the culture. They get scared. Oh, this is the worst time in hip hop. No, it ain't the worst time in hip hop. This ain't your time in hip hop. This the youth time. And treat the youth right. Don't steal from their music and go out there and without giving them their chances of being a superstar. Your time is up no matter how you look at it, because hip hop is from the youth and it go up. Now, the people that was in it, working it from before, that's cool. They still have an audience because they still kept, the good ones still kept their music in the hearts of people, so they still have an audience. But for the culture to grow, we all know it got to be the youth. So stop hating and let them do what they do. And tell them the right way to do things. Don't karaoke and don't take from the people that made these mistakes. So guess what? Those same mistakes you're taking from the people, you're going to make those same mistakes. See, back then, they didn't have the AI machines that can catch on to the samples back then. But now the AI machines can catch on to every song that has a little bit of sample in it. So all them people that thought they got away with the samples in their music and nobody would catch up to it, now the AI machines are catching up to it and they billing people for it. You see how it goes? So just do it right in the first place and you won't end up in these type of problems in the end. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Technology is moving faster than them. So that all the things that they sneaking, thinking they're doing, it's almost like a Rico in hip hop. All the money got to come right back around full circle when that sample, and they get charged for the people that rightfully own it. Don't let these people fool you now, since you want to talk some money. And you better not have this, and you better not, don't think you banking it on YouTube. Don't you dare think you banking on YouTube, because they're up to their neck with the clickbait complaints. I'll tell you that. People putting out information about people that's just for the title saying something that the video doesn't have in it. All of this trickery and deceptional stuff is the reason why you're in the place you're at. And the reason why you feel like you can't go nowhere unless you have money, or you have to have money to do this, do that. You can't do it on your own. Just say so. Just say it. Just say you need something else to do things for you, read for you, everything for you. And all of the things that you could have did for yourself, the physical things, the work that you could do for yourself, and things that transfer into your family, into the kids, that they can take on and craft things, you lose for technology. The next thing you'll be looking for is ChatGPT to cook for you. It's ridiculous. I'm not in a place where I like what everything is going on. It's just almost to the point where people are looking for almost like an out. It's almost like an out. Nobody wants to face up to the hard work anymore because they feel like they're not going to get compensated. And what does society show us? They're not going to get compensated. That's just, it's sad. It's sad. You hear these people, you can't, like, and you know what I hate to see? Let me tell you something to watch for. Once I tell you this, you're gonna be like, wow. Every time you see that, you're gonna think about this. Every time in the news, you hear like a celebrity, like let's say Christmas time come up and a celebrity bought their kid a $100,000 present. But they never tell you what the present is. It's like they more concentrated on how much it costs than what it actually is. It could be $100,000 spent on something that's not even worth it. Meanwhile, you and your family, you could have bought something so small. And you don't have to tell people the price, just what it was. Why do you have to tell people the price? Is because you feel like, oh, if it's a lot of money, that means it has a lot of worth to it. That's what make you a fool. That's how they trick you. An iPhone costs a lot of money. How much worth it do you think it is? And if it was that much worth it, why we gotta change it every year? And it's a few dollars because they know they got you. You see? And a lot of companies take this route that it doesn't matter if their product is this or their product is that. Once they know that you have to come back in some way, if they pull this from under you, then they got you. They don't have no heart for you. I've seen what's been going on and I just said, wow. So we gonna fight and think the money, but the money you can't buy a longer life. If that was the case, people will save up just to go back down to zero. I mean, think of your life like the more you add all of these things to your life and these things that you want to get and you have to get to do this, that's going to hold you back from actually living a fulfilling life. Just because I can't do everything within my life doesn't make me unhappy. It just makes me look forward to things that I can do in my life. And always have your happy triggers. Like, the same way you have things that hurt you, you got to have the things right on the other hand to turn on to like, if I'm feeling like, say I'm feeling like a certain way and I'm getting too emotional about something and I just start thinking about my niece, that innocence, and I just start thinking about my family and things that we've been through, that we got over these hurdles, the thing that I'm thinking about right now, it has no chance of standing even near this fight. You got to have your happy points in your life where you can be like, you know what? Yeah, this hurt me today, but I could think about this and I could be happy again. Ain't that something? That's more than a miracle. You got to control your emotion because your emotions will kill you. It will absolutely kill you. Being stressed out all the time over things. A lot of people, it's not the divorce that really hurts them inside. It's the stressful part of what going through it, that back and forth. That's really the hurting part. If you guys just split it ways and went on the other side and never seen each other again, you would heal faster. But the back and forth, no, that's yours, this is mine. No, I came with this and you don't love me for this. And it's just all of that. I'm pretty sure I understand why people are so scared to jump into another relationship after going through so much. But you can't just let love drain you out, because what you thought was love is not what you experienced. What you experienced was a person that didn't know what love was, you didn't know what love was, and y'all came together and it didn't work. People, you can't keep making the same mistakes. That's what, only fools do that. Some people are scared. They feel so comfortable in their mistakes that they don't want to try something else. They don't want to take the risk. Why take a risk? They're comfortable in making these types of mistakes because they feel like there's going to be an audience for these mistakes, that they made the same mistakes. No. That audience right there is waiting for you to get out of that mistake so you can go guide that audience. That's an open audience for you to get over there and tell them some real knowledge and how to get themselves out of that feelings and them thoughts. You want to join that crowd and just sit there in this puddle? That ain't what life is about. And what I said again, what's going on with this Jay-Z thing again? Like, are we getting this or not? I don't know. If the judge don't got no extra information that we don't know, why you keep going back and forth on the homie like that? The story was absolutely, it was ridiculous. It was wrong. Even the house that they say, it wasn't even there. It was all made up. The father said that, he don't even remember none of this. And they still taking these headlines because what? They want to hurt people. But a message out to Jay-Z, don't pay no mind. These people wicked, man. These people wicked. It's just like the song You Make the Evils Are. People need to go listen to 444. Jay already started with this. And they went down the same pattern and fell for the same nonsense. Diddy and Jay-Z are two different people. Just because you see them in hip-hop don't make them no friends. For real. I'm telling you. Two different men, and if you're going to have something on somebody, go get it and put it up. You know what this is about. This is social media. We ain't playing around. You got the information, put it up. I done seen people, these guys that come out of prison get the paperwork quicker than these guys. You ain't got nothing on them. So why you keep coming with these headlines? And it feel like the judges, if he feel kind of, and I understand though. I understand that some people think that they can take their money and they can go around and push people out of this and take over this business, and you can't have this, and this is mine, and I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna take your stuff and I'm gonna buy my own and do it my. I know there's those type of people, but usually that stuff catches up with them people. It leaves them hollow inside. They got a whole bunch of nothing. You know, somebody that just try to take somebody else out there and they don't really go nowhere with it. It's God telling them, I want you to waste your time trying to do something that I didn't even put you here to do, from that, trying to block that person. Now, when you get over there, you realize you got to go all the way back and go find the blessing that I have served for you. Ain't that something? So don't worry about what other people do or what other people take, because a lot of times, a lot of these people are lost anyway. I've seen more younger people more willing to learn than some of these old fools thinking that they know everything. They don't know anything. Yeah, they have some of them are very smart. I got to give it to a lot of people that stepped up on this whole Lord Jamal, Fat Joe. You know, it's because some people are just sick and tired of people just coming into culture and just remixing the whole legacy. It's sad. But hip hop, you got to understand, you did it to yourself. That's how I could sit back and chuckle. It's because you do it to your own self. The same thing that he remixing the history of that, y'all remix everybody. In hip hop, man, a lot of these stories are told from other people. These ain't their stories. I'm telling you. A lot of these people, they're just taken from what they saw, and that being that the other person didn't have the opportunity, they just told it first. I'm telling you, all this, the best thing you could describe some of these people, and remember they told y'all Kanye West was a genius. Rewind back. These fools told y'all Kanye West was a genius. They didn't go to school, no school, nothing. They said Kanye West is a genius. I said, oh man, did somebody lost? This guy ain't no genius. I look him in his eye and tell him that. I don't care if you was on Rockefeller standing next to Jay-Z or standing with Biggie there. You ain't no genius. Those words that you uttered out your mouth are disrespectful, not only to the culture, but to other cultures, and you have no respect or sense of who you are. He's the perfect person to look in the mirror and say, I don't know who I am. All this Yeezy talk. Quit with all the Yeezy nonsense. If you can't treat your people right, why do you want people to pay attention to you? Don't you see these fools? The same people talking all this culture vulture, some of the same people that they're the vultures of the culture. Yeah, what? Stop hurting your own people and tell people the truth. Don't you see the jokes is dying down? All the comedy is the seats are not packed anymore. This is not comedy. This is real life. You want comedy? You go to the real comedians and they'll tell you. That's why the greats like Cat Williams and those guys, people with their mouth open like, I can't believe Cat said that. No, what do you mean you can't believe Cat Williams said that? The guy's a smart guy. But you thought he was unintelligent because he was a comedian? Wake up. Some of the wisest comedians told some of the best stories and been through some of the worst experiences. And they get up on stage and they try to hold it in with those same jokes that they telling. You know who they telling them jokes about? Themselves. That's who the jokes is really about. So don't look at they so wowed out by, why he said that. No, he said it because that's what he was experiencing as his come up in his journey. And he wasn't going to give you this cookie cut story that you guys expected it to be, because it ain't like that. It ain't like that. Now you see everybody, oh no, I want to jump on stage. No, it's not about going on stage and standing there disrespecting somebody or talking about what's going on in hip hop and thinking you a comedian. It has to come from in here. It's from in here to make it. Comedy is not just about disrespecting people. It's about taking people's feelings and bring them in a place of comfort. No matter if you could laugh at the worst situations or even just sit around to the best situations, they try to make fun and bring that to it. Work on your stuff instead of going up on stage and just start disrespecting people. That ain't comedy to me. Eddie Murphy and the big dogs of comedy, all the legends of comedy, go take a look at the reason why they are who they are. Those guys stood for something. They didn't just stand up on stage and say some mumbo jumbo like with these people. It's not that. Everything ain't always easy. So all I can tell people out there that's putting in this fake work that they think is fake work, it's not about what you put on YouTube that makes you a hard worker. It's about the messages that you leave back that shows your hard work. Remember that. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all soon. Wednesday, I'll bring it back. But that's just where my energy was at today. I love y'all, and I appreciate if you share this. I really appreciate you guys, all of you. But don't be fooled by these people, y'all. It be your own people. Remember that. Remember that. Pay attention to the people that you invest your time in and all the people that they make sure they give you a little something back, even if it's a smile. Some of these people, they won't turn around and give you an autograph. Love y'all.